Good morning everyone, this is Kosala, also known as Marventus, bringing you another one of a fan sent in game. As you know, we deal with mostly, aside from the odd pro game cast, the channel deals mostly with lesser leagues and amateur players, non-pro players doing their thing. And here we have a ZvZ game sent in by our buddy Exy, who sent in some stuff for us before, which you'll find previously in the channel. But mostly I found this game was actually clocked at normal speed at 45 minutes. It's absolutely mind-bogglingly long, and it's so unusual to have a Zerg game that is that long. I decided to cast it to see what it was like. Now I've sped this up a little bit, as you can see over here. But in general, let's see how this goes. I haven't seen the game yet, so I'll be casting it more or less live. And here we have some drone action running back and forth between the two players scouting. So let's see who we've got here. In the top right hand corner as the blue Zerg we have Mr. Ascaron. And in the bottom middle as the red Zerg we have Exy. Both players now droning up hard, as we can see. No strangeness going on so far. The odd overlord tossed around the map, keeping an eye on things. But in general, it's droning going on, as indeed there should be. Here we have Exy doing a cheeky little attempt at a spine crawler, but that was taken down quickly. And a spine crawler of his own being put up by Ascaron. So far, aside from that quick, fast attack attempt, it is a standard droning up scenario. What have we got here? We've got a Roach Warren coming up, we have Metabolic Boost coming up for both players, we have a Roach Warren coming up for Ascaron, and then Exe is countering currently with no production units at all. He is just doing Zerglings and droning for the time being. There's a quick Zergling foray happening here, but it didn't run in. And we have a few of Ascaron's Zerglings running around the map as well. But so far it's a little bit of posturing, but other than that, not a whole lot else going on. We've got another spine crawler going up here for Ascaron. He's getting defensive, as indeed he should. No, he decided to cancel that. He cancelled that spine crawler. He's going to get a gas instead. It's interesting. What do we got here? We have a hatchery coming up in base here. So an additional hatchery coming. I'm going to slow this down now to normal speed so we can keep track of what's going on. A Zergling tried to run by to get a scan, and he got nuked by some roaches. So in base hatchery going up now. Is an additional queen coming out as well? No, not yet. Neither player has expanded. A Roach Warren coming up here in the back for Exe, and a second gas going up now as well. So they're both going into a Roach heavy build at this time. First expansion going now down for Exe at 32 supply. Pretty late, not unusual for a Zerg versus Zerg, though you don't really fast expand early on. Here we've got a Roach foray coming in for Ascaron. Now, is that hatchery going to be defensible? That is the question. Let's find out how this goes. There are no units there defending the hatchery so far. It's coming in hard and fast there, so that hatchery has been cancelled. The Zerglings are coming in to do a little bit of poking around, but that amount of Zerglings is not going to take down those roaches. Did manage to take a roach down to 1 health there though. But other than that, there's nothing else going on. A couple of roaches coming up from Exe here as well. That roach went down in a really big hurry. Those spine crawlers are not going to come up fast enough. Now what is Exe going to be doing here? And there it is, the Roach army of Exe pops up just in time. That spine crawler has been cancelled as well. Second one looks like it's going to be allowed to go up, but Exe's roaches came out in the absolute nick of time. However, he lost that hatchery. In the meantime, the in-base hatchery has gone up for Ascaron, along with the proper hatchery going up as well. So that's 3 hatcheries now for Ascaron versus 1 hatchery from Exe. This could get interesting. A hydralisk den now coming up for Exe. But so far, it looks like Ascaron has command of this particular game. There's an overlord here keeping track of things, so he knows exactly what's going on. But the question is, does that make a difference? Can he counter at this late stage? An evolution chamber has popped up to research missile attacks. 1 spine crawler in defense, a handful of roaches. It looks for the time being that Ascaron is in a good situation. He can hunker in and macro up a bit of an army now in peace and quiet, knowing that Exe will always be behind, unless he can pull off some sort of miracle here. Hydralisk Den now researching upgrades as well, and 2 Hydralisks now being produced. But is it going to be possible for Exe to catch up from this deficit that he has landed himself into? Now the out of base hatchery has gone up as well, and mining has begun. The spine crawlers are coming down to defend, as indeed they should. And we've got production on the in-base hatchery as well, so there should be quite a decent amount of larva management happening over here. Second queen coming up there as well. What the hell happened to the queen on that base? She's moved down over here to take down that overload. We have even more roaches heading out now. Is this a second expeditionary foray? Now there's a bit of a defense having been built up by Exe here. He's finally putting down his hatch once again. He has a few more units to defend it now. Does he even see this group of roaches coming in? I don't think he does, because the overlord had to move out of the way. Is there a queen building here? No. There seems to be, okay, a lair going up there now, and there seems to be a queen short, but maybe that queen actually will have enough energy to lava up both hatcheries in due course. But there certainly is no lack of lava for Ascaron, whereas Exe is now still struggling a little bit behind. That hatchery now halfway done. Now what are these roaches doing? They're sort of maintaining the control there in the mid part of the map, choosing not to move in at this time. Not really sure why that is actually. There aren't a huge amount of defensive units here on X's side, but perhaps Ascaron has not got wind of that yet. In the meantime, we have another overlord coming up for Ascaron. We have more upgrades coming up for Exe. And a lair growing there as well, perhaps? No, a lair has actually already popped for Exe. Of course it has, because he's already got hydralisks. Silly me, silly me. A lair about to complete now for Ascaron as well, and another queen popped out to fight for that particular base. Now you've got queens on all bases, and for some odd reason there appears to be 2 lairs morphing. Why are there 2 lairs morphing? Never seen that happen before, but that's certainly an interesting tactic there from Ascaron. Maybe he's got an overzealous amount of resources and needs to do something with it. But there you go, second lair coming up for Ascaron as well. Let's see. Both players are taking it fairly easy at this point. No attacks going in. Not really sure what Ascaron is waiting for, because he could actually motor up quite a sizable army. He's got a good mineral count. His gas count is low. Why is his gas count low? He's not mining gas on that base. Not mining gas on that base, which is why his gas count is low on that extractor, and there are no extractors put down over here. I wonder whether Ascaron has either forgotten that, or he thinks it's enough for him to have just 1 gas. Or why build the second gas if you're not going to mine on it? That is quite strange. No saturation on the main base, and full saturation on the second base. In fact, he's oversaturated on the second base. It's created a ridiculous amount of drones just then, so it's droning up very hard. So we have yet more roaches gathering here in the midsection. And surely it would be a wise idea to move some of those drones over here. He's finally started mining in the second base as well, so his mineral or his gas count should go up nicely now. And he started producing his first hydralisks himself. Now, creep spread going nicely here for Exe. Where is that drone going? Is he going to be spied by the roaches? I think he just managed to get out of the sight of the vision. Is he going to grab a sneaky expansion somewhere else? It looks very much like he is. Yes, there's a sneak expansion going up here in the south spawning position. In the meantime, the army of Ascaron is growing ever larger. Upgrades coming for Exe again. He's already at missile attacks level 2. So he's got a well upgraded army there. Currently just holding the fort and doing not much else. Let's take a look at the income tabs of both players. Ascaron in the lead, as you would assume, but Exe is not that far behind. It's not that far behind. So let's see if this additional base will help him catch up, and how much longer Ascaron is going to wait before he decides to march in and do some damage here. Because it still looks to me like he's slightly in the lead, although I haven't seen Ascaron do any of his upgrades. So he's got 2 lairs up instead. And are any of his units actually upgraded? Let's take a look. 0, 0, 0, 0. He doesn't have any upgrades whatsoever on his units. Now that could wind up being very, very interesting in an attack, because X's units, although fewer in number, are considerably stronger, and that will tip the balance in his favor unless Ascaron gets his upgrades happening at some point in the near future. We have groove spines and regeneration and reconstitution being upgraded now, and now he's going for his gold. But behind him, the army of Exe is just gathering, repositioning so that the roaches are in the front. Let's see how this goes. Now, Exe has got the strong army, whereas Ascaron has got the bigger army. Let's see how this works. I'm willing to bet that Exe is going to be the one that comes out victorious here. The Hydral is going down fast for Ascaron. Now, are those roaches going to make it? They are unupgraded as it is right now versus heavily upgraded hydralisks on the side of Exe. And Exe looks like it's coming up very, very seriously in the lead. Yes, indeed, the roach army of Ascaron got completely annihilated. Now, there's a huge gathering of overlords there. This could look, this is going to just be ugly. It's going to be a massive supply block coming in now for Ascaron. His entire overlord group just got wiped out there. He's going to need to make another 5 or 6 at the most. Here comes a huge mass of Zerglings trying to attack the Hydralisks. They are getting a decent surround, but are they going to be able to do enough? It looks good. Yep, it looks good. Those Hydralisks are going down in a hurry. The Lings have come out victorious. The Hydralisks of Exe are now making a hasty retreat, and Ascaron seems to have survived for another day. A good job there from Ascaron. 2 command groups with the Lings took down that entire group of Hydralisks with a very nice surround. So staying in the game there on both sides. Now let's take a look at the supply situation. Yep, Ascaron has popped out a huge amount of overlords to match those that got wiped out. Banelings nest coming out on Ascaron's side to deal with the Zerglings, good choice. And more roaches and a queen, and yet more upgrades coming out from Exe's side. So Exe not neglecting his upgrades at all, doing an excellent job with that. And here he's got some drones taking down a foray of Zerglings that came down there. However, now this means that Ascaron does know that this expansion is up, and Exe is moving his Hydralisk down there to protect it, as indeed he should. Now there is no creep highway linking these two different paths, so if Ascaron tries to, or decides to do a split attack, Exe is going to have a rough time trying to keep those attacks at bay. Now, is he going to take down the rocks and go for that gold expansion himself? No, he just came and popped his head to make sure that Ascaron hadn't grabbed it. Nobody's currently grabbed the gold at all. Let's go once again to the income tab and see how things are going. Starting to even itself out now between the two. So good job there from Exe's side to catch up there. And now he just needs to get this third base mining, which he seems to be doing alright. Both gases going up, drones are coming out there. Queen has already popped, very nice. New Hydralisks have shown up. This is a Hydra heavy army coming in for Exe now. Now let's see, there's a massive amount of Banelings gathering for Ascaron. He knows what he's going to be up against, and he's come prepared this time. Now let's see how this goes. Got some Lings coming in to try. Oh, a very well placed spine crawler there, taking a poke at the Lings as they move past. Are they going to be able to get inside? Yes, they do. The Zerglings get a surround. The Banelings are going in. Those Hydralisks are going down like nobody's business. Half the Hydra army wiped out, but Ascaron's army also took quite the beating. Look at the effect of the heavily upgraded units. Those roaches are going down like peanut butter. Right, leaving the Hydralisk victorious once again. But plenty of Banelings hanging out here for Ascaron. He has the defenses he needs in case he gets attacked. Now the question is, what is he going to attack with? 34 Zerglings being produced. So he's going to stick with his Ling, Bling and Roach army against the Hydra heavy army of Mutas have come out for Exe. Let's see how this goes. The Banelings are coming in. They're going to take down a few Zerglings, and those Hydralisks look pretty much doomed. Yes, but what are they going to do against the Mutas? They're going to do absolutely nothing against the Mutalisks. Right, they're taking down those roaches with no problem whatsoever, but the entirety of Exe's ground army got wiped out. He just has the Mutas left. And now they're going back into Ascaron's base to deal some damage. There is no anti-air here except for the one queen. How is Ascaron going to defend against this? We have a row and a half of Mutalisks. Now that is more than enough to take down this entire base unless some serious anti-air shows up. Hydralisk popping out just now. Now he's back in business. Unfortunately, Exe waited a little bit too long there before he got to work. Is that queen going to be taken down? No, it's not. Dude does a little diversionary foray and goes straight into the main base. This looks good. See how many drones he manages to take out. He's got 2 queens there doing damage. That is enough. A transfuse will save that queen, but it turns out they're not in any danger. A mass of Hydralisks have popped out all of a sudden for Ascaron. Good lava management there. He rebuilt the army in a really big hurry, and a spine crawler wall going up here to protect the main entrance to his bases for Exim. So why more Mutalisks now is the question. He did see the huge army of hydralisks. There's no way he's going to be able to do any kind of major Mutalisk pouring with that many hydralisks around. These mutas going down hard and fast. That's the end of them. There's really no point in building any more of those. Ascaron still coming out with more hydralisks, and Exe only popping out a couple of roaches. I imagine he stopped sitting back and thinking a little bit about what to do right now, because it's evenly matched game, evenly matched armies. Back and forth, good salvos, no real mistakes from either side, each player responding very, very well to countering, and this is how Zerg is supposed to be played. You see what's going on, you counter with the right units, you come back and you defend, and then you execute an attack, and both players have actually been doing that extremely well. So no real mistakes from either side. The only thing that could be said was that that Ascaron had a better start, really. And now here we have the wall of spine crawlers, not going to be engaged at this time. A great creep spread from leading between each other's bases. But the question is now, is he going to be able to defend this expansion down here if Ascaron heads southwards? Exe's army is coming out inside or outside the barrier of spine crawlers. Let's see, there's going to be an engagement. No, it doesn't look like it. 10 Zerglings coming out for Exe versus more Hydras and Roaches for Ascaron. Now the big battle should be imminent, really, any second at this point. But I wonder whether this expansion down here is actually going to survive the day. Because if I were Ascaron, I'd probably take that entire unit and head down here and make sure there's enough defenses up there to take in to hold off anything that's coming that way while this base goes down. But Ascaron may have his own plans. He's moving some hydralisks back to the main base again. Oh, I see there's a slight mutant. Oh, a mutant mayhem is going on here. All the drones have been wiped out without us even noticing it. I didn't realize that at all. The drones plus the queen has been wiped out. Nice foray there from Exe, doing an excellent job. There's nothing left to mine over here at the main base, so expansion going up here for Ascaron on the right hand side. But that was a huge drone loss that happened just then. Having said that, there aren't really that many minerals left, so it's not a huge loss for Ascaron, but his mineral gathering speed now diminished considerably because of the fact that he did not keep up with his hatchery production in time. Now, how many drones has he got? Most of his drones have actually been wiped out, all rebuilt over here. But a nice job there from Exe. Now Ascaron, feeling the need to damage the economy of Exe, is now heading south, as indeed he should, to take down these hatcheries that he spotted here. Heading back again because he spotted the main army heading to his base. This looks like a lot of lings. What's going to happen? Those spine crawlers not going to be able to hold up against this huge army. The roaches and hydralisks are coming in as well. The first of the lairs are about to go down. Now, is the backup army going to show up in time? Yes, coming in from behind, we've got the army of Ascaron coming in to defend. That is a very, very big army. And now he's got Exe's army boxed in. The first lair goes down. Is he going to be fast enough to defend his main base? That is the question. Those lings are ferocious when properly upgraded, and they have been properly upgraded. Look how fast they're taking down that hatchery. It is going to go down. The first lair is going down as well. Oh, is he going to make it? No, he's not. Both lairs for Ascaron have been taken down. This is somewhat disastrous indeed. Now he's got absolutely no main hatchery outside of this one over here that is being converted into a lair. He's got no mining whatsoever in either gas or minerals. It's actually a superfluous amount of gas, but not really that many minerals. At the same time, he's got quite a sizable army. So the question is he going to have enough here to go in and sort this out? This has turned into a dramatic sort of thing. We have Borrow and even further upgrades coming for Exe, who has stayed sharp on his upgrading. The attack is happening now. Now, what is Exe doing bunching up his hydralisks there? Why doesn't he move them back over the line? I do not know. He has sacrificed his entire army for reasons beyond understanding. But maybe his focus was elsewhere. Could be focusing on sorting out his base over here. Yes, indeed, it's been sorted out nicely, fully saturated in mining. But in the meantime, Ascaron has utilized that opening to break the defenses of Exe and take out his main base. So the base trade begins once again. It's getting them out of harm's way and then taking down the other units in peace and quiet. That hatchery is going to be going down any second now, along with all of those drones. My goodness, that's a massive drone loss once again. So Ascaron now dishing back the same damage that Exit dealt to him once back in a moment ago. That very resilient spine crawler finally going down, and his main, which has been upgraded to a hive now. He's about to lose his hive as well. This is going to be quite disastrous for Exe now, because he has lost his upgraded buildings, and on top of all that, he also does not have a significant army at this point. All of his production buildings are going down. He's only got a few units on the way. The Zerglings have managed to run away and get out. Oh no, they're coming back to die. Yes, they will die horrendously, because those Zerglings can't do anything against that huge army. The Spire just came up to die once again. All of the production buildings for Exe are down. He's got these two bases, but he's got no buildings to produce from. He's got a lair coming up, and he's just managed to pop out a few Corruptors. Now the question is, why Corruptors? Oh yes, upgrading the Broodlords I imagine was the plan, but before that could happen, the base got killed. Now this could get extremely dire and dangerous for Exe indeed. How is he going to come back from this? Ascaron has made a fascinating revival from his poor economic state, simply because he had a huge army still lying around. Now this base has been upgraded to a lair, but droning is happening slowly, simply because of a lack of money. He's only got 65 minerals. But that army is big enough to take down everything else that Exe has. Is he going to be able to successfully defend here? I do not know. That base looks like it's in very serious jeopardy indeed. And he's left some units back here, has he? He's got some overlords hanging out over there. That hatchery is toast. I think it may very well be that a GG is imminent now, because there isn't really anything that Exe will be able to do fast enough to survive in this game. But it has been quite the epic ZvZ matchup, back and forth, and the victor here being Ascaron. I think the crucial element was the good economy early on, followed by the fact that he did not shy away from building a good-sized army when he had the opportunity to do it. And even when the bases went down and the economy was hurt, the army being intact made all the difference. So there we go. Another Spire has come up here for Exe, but I think it could be a question of too little too late. There's a massive amount of drones here. Are those drones going to be enough to hold off against these? This is drones versus hydralisks, the most peculiar battle of the day. Who will emerge the victor? There is a ridiculous amount of drones. 2 command groups worth of drones versus hydralisks. Oh my goodness, the drones are winning. The drones are winning, ladies and gentlemen. Mind-boggling. What is the counter to hydralisks? It is drones. Drones counting hydralisks. Who would have thought of it? This game isn't over yet, it turns out. The entire army of Ascaron has been wiped out by a drone counter from Exe. Right, this is a Zerg who does not give up in a hurry, clearly. We have a few Corruptors on the field, we have a Spire up, and the economy of Exe is absolutely top-notch, whereas the economy of Ascaron is still lagging. And oh my goodness, what a game. Now we've got some borrowed hydralisks popping up here. Is that Queen going to be able to survive? It's hard to say. Are they hydras? Oh, they're actually borrowed infestors. Infested Terrans coming out now to take down this hatchery. What a fascinating idea. He just managed to squeeze out some infestors before the infestation pit got wiped out. That is pretty damn hilarious. That hatchery is totally toast. And there is now once again only one base for Ascaron to do anything with. Ascaron is pulling his drones southwards. And his overlords as well, and this main base is finally completely dead. Although that spawning pool still being there is going to be a bit of a problem for Exe unless he takes it down. But excellent counterplay here from Exe here, against all odds, having managed to actually survive. A new base going down for Ascaron, as he knows that he's behind in economy and needs to do something about it. He will need to drone up hard in order to manage, and that gives Exe that edge that he needs. If he can pull off some good unit development at this time, he will have an ability to disrupt Ascaron's efforts and potentially win the game, which is going to be the most ridiculously astounding comeback in Zerg versus Zerg history that I've ever looked at. But this is going to be very, very cool if that happens. Let's see how it goes. We have a few mutas on the field, and they went flying somewhere. In fact, I've lost them. We have a corruptor, not a corruptor, but a overseer hanging up over here. We have a queen making a very, very slow walk over to the new main base of Ascaron, and we have new production buildings coming up, another in-base hatchery on the way. We have borrowed infestors once again. Oh, this is going to be funny. Are they on full energy? They are not on full energy, but they may have enough to do some damage. Borrowed infestors, and there come the infested Terrans. Zerglings coming in to make a mess out of this as well. A few roaches are going to be taken out en route to the main base now by the mutas and at Zerglings, and that hatchery looks like it's going to go down just in time before these infested Terrans disappear. Yes, X is doing a wonderful job here of making sure that that Ascaron does not recuperate from his situation. More lings coming in. Some hydralisks popping up in the last second there to wipe out the very, very, very successful infested Terran effort that Exe was up to. But Exe's lings are still around and doing good work along with that mutalisk. Oh, a nice transfuse there from the queen onto the hydralisk, who managed to survive long enough to take it down. Another nice transfuse coming in there. Excellent work there from Ascaron. Good job indeed. But another foray of lings is here, and is there going to be enough time for them to do anything about it? No, it looks like Exe has finally managed to vanquish Ascaron's last defenses here. A few lings are now inside the main base. And now drones being pulled from Ascaron as well to see if he can do a repeat of the effort done by Exe, but the drones from Ascaron not quite upgraded in the same way, and they go down. In the meantime, another hatchery going down here for Exe as well. Roaches coming out in floods there finally, but being chased by lings. They need to stop and nuke those lings. Yes, indeed they do. So this hatchery has miraculously managed to survive along with the in-base hatchery, but once again, no drones whatsoever. And once again, very few minerals for Ascaron. He is going to be perpetually behind now because of X's vastly better economy. And now he's upgrading once again to a lair. 3,000 minerals and 2,000 gas. It looks like Ascaron has actually whipped this back into shape, astoundingly enough. The roaches coming up to try to hold the fort here, but those lings are extremely well upgraded and extremely powerful. Now, it would actually probably be better for Exe to just lie low for a little bit and build up a bit of an army before he goes in and finishes this off, because at this stage there is absolutely no chance whatsoever that Ascaron would be making a comeback from this. He has no economy to bounce back from this at all, and Exe has got 2 full bases about to go up and already upgraded to Hive on his new main as well. And the Great Aspire coming up now, so as we suspected, those corruptors are going to be turned into Brute Lords, and there is the GG from Ascaron, and the end of the game. My goodness, what an epic battle, back and forth, both players doing an excellent job, Ascaron starting out strong and Exe finishing strong, with a mind-bogglingly better economy. I'm sure we all learned some lessons there. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a wonderful day.